This is a short tutorial on setting up your online draft. We've created the ticket group Bleacher Buddies, so we'll click on that group from the dashboard. Now we've already added tickets and we've added our partners. So our first step is to click on the Draft tab. Next, we'll click on Create New Draft to enter the basic settings. The first question is, how many picks will there be in this draft? Typically, this is the number of games that you have in your draft. So for this group, we'll say 40 games, so 40 picks. By default, the system is set up to require that tickets picked during any single turn must be from the same game. Most groups draft this way. The last setting is tickets per pick. This is the number of tickets allotted for each turn in the draft. Most groups set this to the number of tickets that they have for each game. This group has 2 tickets to each game, so the default for this setting is 2 tickets per pick. Now we'll set the draft participants. Here are all the partners in this group. I'll check the in-draft checkbox for all 4, and then I will enter the picks per partner. This group has an equal ownership structure, so everyone gets 10 picks. If your group structure is not even, you can adjust the picks per partner accordingly. With the basic draft setup complete, we're now at the draft overview page. Note up at the top we have our items remaining to be done before we can start our draft. On the left side are the draft settings, and on the right side are individual draft settings. Let's tackle the first item, the draft start time. Enter a date and time you want your draft to begin. Note that the draft doesn't actually start until you, the draft administrator, clicks the Start Draft Now button. We'll see that later on in this tutorial. The next message says that you don't have any tickets in your draft. We'll fix that next. Clicking on the Add button will take us over to the Ticket Navigator. From here, you can use the Change All option to load all of your tickets into the draft. Of course, you can turn on or off selected individual tickets and games as well. We'll change all these tickets to draft, and then click on the Draft tab to return to our draft. Our last remaining item is the draft order. Now the first section shows our draft participants and the number of picks we've already entered in a previous step. You can make changes if needed, otherwise click on the next button. Then we have picks per round. Now since we have 4 partners with equal ownership, the picks per round here is pretty straightforward. 4 picks per round, 10 rounds to complete 40 picks. If your ownership structure is more complicated, you can adjust the picks per round accordingly. Now it's time to set the actual draft order. Use the Draft Order Wizard to quickly build your draft order. We have our picks per round for each of the partners, and each partner gets 1 pick per round. And then we have the initial order here, which you can set yourself or use the randomize. Then choose Snake or Repeating Draft, and then change the draft order. This builds out your draft order for you. Notice on the right column, we have the number of picks assigned per partner. Great, now we're all set up to draft. Let's take a look at the live draft page. Click on the Enter Live Draft button to access the draft. Draft start date and time is listed at the top of the page, and then there's the green Start Draft Now button. Remember, you, the group administrator, must push that button to actually start the draft. The live draft page has a message board, the selected tickets, the tickets available, the tickets that have not been drafted yet, and on the right column you have the draft status and the draft order. Thanks for watching this tutorial on setting up your online draft.